How's your week been? This is the Corpsepaint Show, where we have been bringing you chaos and anarchy since 2016. I hope you guys are doing well and you've had a great week. Please check out our YouTube channel. We have a lot of original content there for the last 2 years plus. And so speaking of anarchy and chaos, we brought along Mr. TWOIE WRONG. Mr. TWOIE WRONG from BitRot and the merch bitch from BitRot, also known as Velvet Mystique. Hi, Velvet.
Hi.
And Janie Slash, who's always anarchistic.
I have no affiliation with BitRot. I'm just their friends.
No,
I'm just their friends, and I watch the shows. I'm in the audience.
Now, shortly we're going to show a segment from No Shame in Head, everyone's favorite video. Everyone who is a cool person's favorite video.
I'm not sure about that, but yeah, that video was done a number of years ago.
It was. It's time for a reboot.
We have been talking about it. We're just lazy. No better excuse than that.
No worries. So, when you're thinking about doing that, you know, I've got a suggested video guy. They do work for us, Little Spark Films.
Now's not the time for that.
So, no, I'm putting in a plug. So, all right. So, hi, Velvet. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Good. Janie Slash.
Hey.
Now, Velvet told me that
Yeah.
you guys, have you opened for Christine?
Yes, we
The drag queen, Christine.
Right.
yes, my guitarist Christine performed at the gay show that they do at
In Austin?
South by Southwest.
Yeah.
And one of his friends may not have been completely sober and was seeing things, and they just wandered into the show and had a big freak out while Christine was on stage. And so he started sending video to my guitarist, and we fell in love immediately. So we actually contacted Christine and got Christine to Dallas the first time, and it took us like 6 months to do it.
This was the first time Christine had performed here?
Correct.
Yeah.
And that was an amazing night. The venue that we played at was beyond sold out and had a line trying to get in for the entire night. And it was a good show. We had a lot of fun.
We saw Christine in Austin.
Very nice.
And it was just outrageous.
Christine is wonderful.
Yes.
Fantastic show.
It was who did Christine open for in Austin? I'm trying to remember when we went.
Wasn't it? No, it was. It was.
It was that Fuck the Pain Away chick.
Yeah, Fuck the Pain Away. Peaches.
Peaches.
Yeah,
Yes,
Peaches.
toured with Peaches.
Yeah, we saw
Thank you.
Peaches
I
too.
cannot
so-
remember. She opened up for Peaches, and then we saw Peaches.
Yes.
Peaches performed in a pizza onesie.
Awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
I mean, why not do that?
I know, right? I was
Why
like,
are
fuck
people
yeah.
not performing in
I
that?
want a pizza onesie. It's all I'd wear if I had one.
And KMFDM.
We've played with KMFDM at least once.
That's great, man.
Yeah, we've been in the industrial scene for a very long time. Before BitRot, Chris and I both played in Nocturne for a long time, and I worked for Invisible Records, and so we did a whole lot of touring with a whole lot of shows with all of those bands.
Touring all over.
All over. And then JT, our other guitarist, he's in Ghoultown as well. So I played with him in a band called Maltoro that was a Ghoultown offshoot for a bit. So we played with a lot of the rockabilly bands and people I would probably not play with normally, but it was a lot of fun.
Good. Were you in Ghoultown?
I was not in Ghoultown. They took a break from Ghoultown for about 2 years and did an offshoot called Maltoro.
Okay.
Which was all the members of Ghoultown except the acoustic guitar player and the trumpet player.
There you go.
So it was, after we did it for a little while, it was one of those going, this is just Ghoultown. Just put that back together. So
Gotcha. And Blood on the Dance Floor. Now, Janie Slash knows this is one of my kind of favorite synthwave bands. I don't know. You guys are way over the top compared to that.
What type of music is Blood on the Dance Floor? That's a question
It's
we really
disco,
need to know.
really.
it's something. Yeah, we played with them a couple times, and it was interesting.
Do they get wild on stage, or is it kind of tame?
It's just dirty.
Yeah.
It's we got on a show They were on tour with the band called Angel Spit, who I'm a huge fan of, from Australia. And so we opened the show, or we're one of the opening bands, and I'd never heard of Blood on the Dance Floor. And we were just excited to play with Angel Spit. And I looked up Blood on the Dance Floor, and I spent the next 3 days trying to figure out how I can get us off of the show. It's not my favorite band. And it was a Sunday afternoon show.
Did you get off?
Show.
Did you get off the show?
No, we stayed on it, but
Okay.
we didn't.
You didn't sabotage it, did you?
No, our professional side came out, and
right.
it wasn't one that we took more seriously.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but we, I mean, our call times like. We showed up to the show, and there was actually a line going both directions down the street. The show was beyond sold out, with a line waited through the entire show trying to get in. You could not walk through the club. The average age was probably 13.
No.
And aside from, I think, a couple of the guys in Angel Spit, we were the oldest people in the club. And besides,
So they have a lot of 13-year-old fans.
they do, and there are a lot of parents dropping their kids off. And and you know, my first question to Angel Spit was, "Did you guys lose a bet? I mean, why are you on
lost
tour
a
with
bet.
them?"
Right.
And they set me straight with that. They actually, Carl from Angel Spit, great, amazing guy, kind of turned me around and just explained the industrial scene only goes so far, and you gotta expand your fan base a little bit.
Yeah, and your audience.
But we played it, and there was no line at the bar for sure. So
Right.
my singer got a little bit toasted, and
Okay.
we took the show so seriously. We didn't bring merch or anything. We didn't care. We were just gonna play and get out. But we would have sold everything we possibly could have made that show, which was kind of we learned our lesson with that.
Chris always got a serious look on his face. We saw him at Killing Joke. He ended up like standing right in front of us, and even at Killing Joke, man, he was just like serious dude.
He's not at all.
No.
Oh,
He's that's
That's his resting bitch face coming through.
But yeah, we played. So we missed a big opportunity with Blood on the Dance Floor. So we were really excited. They were coming back through town. So we're like, okay, we want this show. So we opened the show, and it was on a school night, and there was nobody there. Like, we had more people there than they did, and it was awful. And so we learned our lesson there too. You can't expect a crowd at any show. So
Yeah.
we've played with them twice, 2 different experiences, and I don't know if they're going to be through again with what all's going on with them. But
And as a band, just when you think you figured out the kind of the flow of your fans and the crowd and what it's like on a weekend versus weekday, it changes, right?
it does. I also, the end of the first show, I do have my most amazing memory from Bitrot was after we were leaving that show.
Okay.
We were walking out. We did our final idiot check, which is where you do one last check to make sure you didn't leave anything.
Does
Very
this story
important.
involve Velvet?
No, I did not know her at this point.
Okay.
But we were walking out, and there was a gaggle of little 12 and 13-year-old girls waiting for their parents to pick them up. And they looked at us and like, "Hey, you guys are that band." I'm like, "Yeah." And in unison, they all raised a hand and yelled "abortion," which is part of one of our songs. And I've never been so proud of my life. I was tearing up at that moment. So.
All right. Recruit them early.
And on that note,
And on that note, oh man, that's funny. That's very good. Now, all right. So do you produce all your own music, all the band's music?
we do. Are
you the producer?
Actually, Chris is.
Okay.
And Bitrot's, this is his band. We are, in a musical sense, we've all played in many bands together.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're a musician, you're pretty much a whore. And we've all...
Look at that great logo, man. Look at that.
That was actually done by Lyle from Ghoultown.
Well, great
Made
job,
that logo, of
Lyle.
course.
Shout out.
He did a good job. But yeah, we were playing in a band called Sonic Noise Terrorists, which was my band, and it was a digital hardcore band. And I just had kind of had it at that point, so we decided to break up that band and form Bitrot, featuring all the same members. So slightly confusing with that one.
Did you at that point? Did you think you'd still be playing gigs as years later?
Not really, and especially not with BitRot. BitRot was
A fun project.
when you play in a band and you're trying to make it, you get all kinds of wonderfully horrible ideas that would be funny if, but you can't ever do those ideas because you're trying to make it. Mm-hmm. So we actually started a band on those ideas, not trying to make it at all. And our first show ever was really supposed to be a one-off show. We played...
well, see, this is what Velvet's told me.
Yeah.
It was, you kind of thought it'd be a one-off thing?
It was a big burlesque performance at the Lizard Lounge at the church. And it was a big performance of... they did a big show too, and we just played the music in the background. Mm-hmm. And we just kind of thought it would be one and done with that, and kind of fun. And of course it catches on. So we're stuck doing this still. So
we're stuck doing this.
Yeah, and that's how BitRot started.
We're stuck.
Continues.
And at that gig, did you play No Shame in Head?
Of course we did.
Of course. All right.
Of course.
So can we watch 10 or 20 seconds of that video? And yeah, we don't have to dive into the whole thing. So we're just going to take it from the top and give people a little, we're going to whet their appetite if they haven't seen BitRot videos.
All right. And there is the story behind this video.
All right.
This was my final project for a film class. I had to show this in front of the class.
What grade did you make?
I made an A. So
look at you, man. For No Shame in Head?
Yes.
Let's take a look. Trying to hear myself. When you're up for a possible reboot, please let me help if that's possible.
We've had a couple video ideas going on, but because of everyone's crazy schedules, it's really difficult. I wanted to do a full-on dance video, our Michael Jackson Thriller spoof video. We were trying to get it going for a Retard Prostitute, but we couldn't actually get anyone else in the band to do anything with it.
Okay, so, all right. So, okay. Now, Velvet, send me the heads up from YouTube on that one where they just didn't want to show that video. So.
Actually, the Retard Prostitute, we were putting up, actually, it may have been for the Christine show. I had to do some quick videos. Now, we run video when we play live behind us.
Now, who assembles those?
That's me.
Yeah, good job.
So there was a video that may or may not have included a bunch of different animals
making love.
All right, the animals were getting it on.
And we got banned from YouTube with that, but the irony was all that video footage came from YouTube.
From YouTube.
So but we figured, and it was just our backing videos too. It was from a live show, and it got banned off of YouTube. We actually got like 3 or 4 videos banned off of there. It was all our live backing videos.
I like, look, when you're playing, I'm watching the video a lot. I'm not looking at you. I'm sorry, man.
Probably better that way. Yeah, so it's probably a better show. So.
Hey, guess what the Wild Sexy Girls are up to?
Oh, no.
We're not doing anything.
He's talking about 2 Girls, 1 Camera.
Oh, yeah, 2 Girls, 1 Camera.
2 Girls, 1 Camera Productions. We are planning on producing Ghost Babes,
now,
where we ghost hunt.
Mm-hmm. TWOIE, I haven't told you this, but as a surprise for the girls, we mocked up a little graphic forum that is all voyeuristic looking, as just kind of a mock-up. This was prepared by.
I have not even been around.
Was prepared by Little Spark Films, so they did just kind of this sample graphic. You don't have to use it, but
does it say Ghost Babes though? Because you didn't know the title.
We'll have to change it to Ghost Babe. We'll have to add that in there.
It's like Two Girls, One Camera Productions.
Ryler's taking care of us on the board, so there we go. What do you think?
I love it.
I mean, I have no problem with that.
Yeah. And now, if we go back to it for a second, we've got the camera up.
Yeah.
You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And,
no,
you know, really, this is, you know, it harkens back to Elvis Presley because his album with him holding the guitar, it's pointed up. This is a retro throwback.
I can't
right
figure
there.
out which one's you and which one's me.
I'm the one on the ground. I'm always
I figured I was the one sticking my boobs into the camera. That sounds about right.
No, you're kind of spying
And
on,
grabbing my ass.
Don't you think it's voyeuristic? It's you looking into a camera lens and people watching.
No, it's totally
Velvet on the ground.
It's totally me sticking my boobs into the camera lens.
With an itchy butt.
Velvet's, yes. with
Could
an
we
itchy
add
butt.
some animals getting it on?
And Velvet's crawling, looking into the lens. See,
I don't
see
Velvet's
why
being the
not.
voyeur.
Yes.
But she's just filming.
Yeah. That's all that's going on in that picture.
Now, I was telling Velvet, maybe it was last night, but even if you guys like went to a normal place, maybe a zoo where animals get it on, and just film normal stuff.
No, we're not doing that. We're filming haunted places.
Haunted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ghosts getting it on.
places.
Haunted.
Places.
And we're still working on makeover with a ghost.
Yeah, that will be a little add-on.
Yeah.
humps.
It'll be like an extra bonus for our Patreon that we're working on.
Now, let's point out to the record of this. All right, last week the idea came into their brains. This week we have a logo, and it's kind of formulating. This is how things are birthed and continue, and so we really want this to be something.
I had a lot of people at the New Year's show tell me how excited they were to see Two Girls, One Camera.
Yeah, they were really.
They were very
I'm gonna say
excited.
they might be a bit confused.
No, we explained it,
Ghost
and they
show,
were
not what you think
giving
it's going
us
to be.
ideas about how we could film different segments for the ghost show.
Yeah.
They knew what we were talking
They
about.
knew what we
All
were
right,
talking about.
all right.
It's supposed to sound kind of dirty,
It is.
but it's not that dirty.
I mean, you should get lots of
It could
extra
be.
hits for people that'll
It
be
could be.
thoroughly disappointed. But
Well, now look, hold on. You're saying thoroughly disappointed, but maybe they will film themselves getting dressed in the morning, so getting ready for ghost hunting or something.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
But I still think people looking for two girls and anything might be a bit disappointed.
Okay. One camera.
Not speaking about myself.
Yes. Anyways, so you guys, we support you. TWOIE and I support you. Corpsepaint Show supports you. Our engineer, Ryler, supports you.
I thought it was Two Girls, One Camera takes to the streets.
We do take
hit
to the streets.
hit the streets or stand at the
Takes
streets
to the
or
streets.
Takes to the streets.
causing chaos since 2016.
Yeah,
And it's all because we did a Doyle interview together.
that's true.
That was a good interview, wasn't it?
There you go.
Yeah.
Velvet filmed that.
I don't think he watched that.
Velvet filmed it, and the camera is solid.
That's where Two
It's
Girls,
like,
One
doesn't move
Camera
at all.
came from.
No tripod.
Takes to the streets.
Fantastic.
I was.
We're the street team. So if anyone needs any interviews for their bands,
That's true.
Velvet
We
and
can-
I will show up
Two girls, one
and
camera.
interview Two Girls, One Camera.
Good. Do you have a camera
And
person,
if you have
or
a
you guys do the
ghost,
camera?
and you want us to come find your ghost, we can't get rid of it. We're not like that.
Oh
special.
no,
no.
we're not
I mean, I
Ghostbusters.
have some sage.
Look, I talked to somebody who heard some noises in their attic.
That was us, and you fixed it.
Okay.
You said you fixed it this time.
There are people in our neighborhood who have heard squirrels, but it might be a ghost in their attic.
A ghost squirrel.
No.
Plot
Oh my gosh, your house is haunted by squirrels.
Plot twist.
Oh,
Ghost
brother.
squirrel.
Hey, now I've talked to Velvet about some funny stories, and I am hoping that occasionally she probably is your muse, and she comes up with all these crazy, insane things that have happened to her, and so I don't know, Velvet. It's. Do you want us to move on?
I don't know. I don't think I'm his muse
All right.
because Crash tells Chris makes all the songs. But I told him about a time when I was at Applebee's on a date. This was before I knew TWOIE.
Yeah.
And this guy brought this other guy with him that he was friends with from church camp on the date.
Hold on. Talk slowly because I'm enjoying this.
And he was like, well, what would you like to do? I was like, I guess we can just get something to eat. And so he took me to Applebee's. And then while we were at Applebee's, the guy from church camp was getting restless, and he left after he paid his tab, and I got in the car with the other guy that I was on the date with, and he was like, so are we gonna do something tonight, or? And I was like,
See, I think
I
that's
looked at him
hilarious
like,
for
you have the
Applebee's.
audacity to bring this guy with you on this date who only talks about church camp the entire time, and then you're asking me if we can do something? Like, no. So I told him I was on the rag. He wouldn't take that. So my genius idea, I gave him a hand job but let go before he, did his thing. So
In the Applebee's parking lot.
in the Applebee's parking lot. So
I like
Applebee's hand job is a thing.
And see, I think that's a great
And
poetic.
apparently, Applebee's have like what is it, $1 drinks this month?
Oh yes, Applebee's has $2 Jack and Cokes this month. So
Velvet-
go get your hand jobs.
Velvet ironically tagged me in that.
Yeah, I did tag her.
Go ahead.
Are you ready for the full circle of the story, though?
To it. Yes,
no.
please.
Here's the full circle of that story.
Do we have Velvet's okay for you to say?
Oh, no, it's fine.
all right.
The said gentleman who thinks it's a great idea to take a date to Applebee's was the extra cameraman for the BitRot video.
I thought you were going to say he was found murdered.
No.
In an Applebee's parking lot.
No, that's actually the gentleman who was in film class with me and was the second cameraman for the video.
Well, I'm glad you're with Velvet now. Hey, Tui, are you a West Texas boy?
I am not. I am actually from the north.
Okay. So Velvet,
He grew up in Lubbock though.
I went to high school there.
Yeah.
no kidding. How bad was that?
I spent much of my childhood growing up in East Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains, like 20 miles from Virginia, where it's absolutely gorgeous. That's like the land of, Dolly Parton out there.
And there's no trees in Lubbock.
And we moved to the flattest place known to man.
Flattest place known to man.
So it was really,
Culture shock.
getting off the plane the first time, looking around going, really, Mom and Dad, people live here? But Lubbock is it's a nice town that's not in between any two towns. You have to want to go there. And I left 4 days after high school.
Yeah, gotcha.
And it
I'm
was,
out.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, it actually wasn't that bad. We started a big punk rock scene that ended
did?
up being amazing.
Good for you.
And it was started by 3 of us at Denny's one night. And
See, Denny's. Oh, it always circles back to Denny's.
I think
lady.
we've eaten at that Denny's.
in Lubbock, you don't have too many options. So,
Yeah, it's true.
but yeah, we had our crappy. We skateboarded and then had our punk rock band where we slaughtered like the 3 covers that we knew.
Okay.
As every 14, 15-year-old does. And the music started taking over, but we just the 3 of us that were in that decided to break up our band and each form a band, so we had a scene with
Yeah.
bands to play with.
Right.
And it escalated from there. We booked shows at some interesting places because there weren't clubs for that in Lubbock. So
Let me guess. It was like a restaurant or a flower shop.
we did
or
the
something.
restaurant. We actually did a mattress warehouse.
Yes,
We did,
see?
we got someone booked at skate parks, and then we were the only band that owned a PA system. So we were the
You were
we were
popular.
the sound guys for every show. But
Yeah.
we actually got a punk rock club started, and now I don't want to date myself, but this was a bit early '90s.
That's all right.
So there was the underground music scene was just phenomenal across the country, and we put Lubbock on the map. And no internet in those days, so it was all via the book your own band, Maximum Rock and Roll, all those. And the whole scene was run by 16, 17, 18-year-old high school kids, and we booked bands, put shows on, but we had bands like Bikini Kill, No Effects, Offspring, Melvins, Reverend Horton Heat, all these bands coming through, playing at a crappy coffee shop for 100 plus punk rock kids for $3 covers, and we ended up with getting about 5 touring bands a week coming through, completely run by high school kids.
No kidding.
And it was a time and place thing. So
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
and I don't know what happened after that because when we all graduated, we all left, and so I'm not sure it stuck around too much longer out there. But last time I was in Lubbock, I was on tour, I think with Pigface and Throat Cult, and we had a day off between here and El Paso So I went to Lubbock because Minister was playing there, and that was pretty exciting. They will never play in Lubbock again, and it was totally Lubbock. They made an outdoor venue, like a little enclosed outdoor venue out of what used to be a meat slaughterhouse that we'd go break into in high school. So it was kind of odd. And right in the middle of the show, the wind changed and the whole venue filled up
with the
lovely smell of cow shit.
And gotcha. Okay.
Like Lubbock, you need to floss Lubbock out of your teeth when you leave. So.
Yeah. Ugh. And you got sand in your hair, and it's like.
It's lovely. Tumbleweeds stuck in the front of your car.
Yeah. So, did you live in Albuquerque?
I did. I went to school out there briefly, and
cool.
I lived out there about 3 years before I moved to Dallas.
I like New Mexico.
It's a whole different world.
It is.
It was. It's very. God's country ends at the Texas border. It is crazy once you get there, and very unique place. I'd never do it again, but I had a great time when I was out there, and then it's one of those. Of course, you attract the weirdest. I always attract the weirdest people. So one of my friends out there actually got very famous the year after I left. So that would
musician?
No, actually, Steve-O from JackAss. I went to school with him.
The things you find out on the Corpsepaint Show.
Very odd. But
no kidding.
He's a fantastic guy, and that's not an act, but it was really. Everyone had heard my Steve-O stories, and then the very first time I ever watched JackAss, there was a guy, like, Steve-O would pour lighter fluid in his hair and light his hair on fire and put his mouth around one of those Dixie cups and shoot a whole beard before he put his hair out. And there was a guy doing it on JackAss, and he's like, "Oh, Steve-O used to do that," and he shot his head up, and it was Steve-O. And it's like, that's the
him.
guy I've been talking about.
That's your friend.
So, but he, when I left, he had just failed Barnum and Bailey Clown School, and then he had burned all his hair off and burned his face down. But as he said last time I saw him, "Oh, it's healing up great, man." So
it's healing up great.
Pink and normal. So.
No kidding.
Great
so
guy.
he was always doing these crazy things before even. Yeah.
I met him in a communications class, and he would actually bring videos in to show to the class.
This was in Albuquerque.
This was in Albuquerque.
Videos of himself. I want you to talk real close into here.
Yeah, videos of himself. A lot of those. One of my friends got me the Steve-O old school videos, and some of the videos that made it in there are ones that I actually had watched in class or watched at the skate park there. So it's kind of interesting, but no, he's a really fantastic guy. So.
Do you ever use Steve-O film as the backdrop for a bit? No. Okay.
No,
we want to see sexy girls more and animals.
I mean, we're a bit too classy for that. So, pinky out. So.
Oh, look, there we go.
Speaking of classy.
Speaking of classy,
but the beautiful with everything with bit rots and in joke,
and that is Velvet's ass, of course.
No, that's actually the drummer's ass.
That's the drummer's ass.
Okay,
that was our first drummer, Nick.
Okay.
That's actually his ass.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't around when they made that album art.
That is the main character from the No Shame in Head video. So again, that is actually his ass.
There we go. And so now Janie Slash used to be a unicorn. You guys have embraced unicorn life, and
we're trying to get away from it.
All right, so let's not show that anymore.
No, you can show the unicorn. What happened with that one was we were making merch for our very first show, and Chris and I drank some white wine, and apparently we don't make the best financial decisions after we've had a bottle of white wine.
Okay.
But the idea for the shirts we're just designing shirts to have a couple just because, but just gonna have the logo on the front, and then it's like, okay, we'll put something on the back. And I don't know how it started, but we were gonna put No Shame in Head on the back of the shirt because, I mean, it's a classy shirt, right?
Yes.
And we just started, it kept getting progressively worse and worse, and we ended up just trying to get the BitRot logo and something on the back of the shirt. We ended up with a new BitRot logo and a giant unicorn, and the back of the shirt in this lovely fancy font just said, "Come guzzling dumpster slut." And we sold out of them.
Man!
Those are my people.
Those are your fans.
Yeah, and we were just kind of looking at them when we finished going, God, I mean, I'd buy one, but I don't know if anyone else would.
Right.
Like,
so
at worst, we have Christmas gifts. So that was.
So you finish printing all these, and you're drunk on white wine, and you're thinking, no one's going to buy these, but then you sell them.
The worst part is we weren't even drunk. So. No. It's like 2 or 3 glasses there.
The things we are finding out today. Thank you, TWOIE. TWOIE Wrong. And you know,
Here's
you
the
have
white wine.
You have a store in Marfa, Texas called The Wrong Store.
Really?
We
I
have
love
been there.
it.
We have been
I've
there.
never been to Marfa. But that's one of my places I want to go.
Yeah, there's a store called The Wrong Store. It's
Nice.
not as exciting as you would think. Like, I wanted to go. It's so fucking cool on the outside, and you walk in, it's just a table with things on it.
Yeah, but
And you're like, oh, this is it, and it's all overpriced, and you can't buy any of it.
TWOIE, we have been to Marfa. It is so fucking
But
fun.
it's still a cool store. Cool shit.
It's a little bit like Lubbock, just a heads up.
It's actually further in the middle of nowhere than Lubbock is.
It's in the middle of fucking nowhere, but it's
we were
cool as
actually
shit.
trying to plan a trip to go back to New Mexico because, again, I love that area. I don't think I'd live there again, but I love going to visit, and I wanted to take her, show her, and then head down to another wonderfully classy joint out there in Roswell,
Yeah.
and then go to Marfa and head back. But
You got to hit New Mexico.
New Mexico's fun.
Roswell's fun.
Now, okay, so you know that
If you go to Marfa, you should stay in the shipping container. The hipping, is it the hipping house? Is that what it's called?
yes.
The hipping house. It's pretty fucking nice.
Yeah, we got a
You can find it on Airbnb.
Airbnb. So we know now that Kim Kardashian is wearing metal band T-shirts, and I heard a rumor that she was wearing a Bit Rot shirt.
No.
I'm not sure if this is
No.
confirmed.
I wouldn't know. I'd be the wrong person to ask. I'm one of those people that if I see anything with Kardashian, I will turn it off immediately.
You would object to her wearing that? Got it.
Oh, actually, I wouldn't care. But
Okay.
it would. I wouldn't know. But then again, I don't.
Okay.
No one tells me anything. So.
Did you at first find it strange to see people wearing your shirt? Like out in the wild? Not at concerts, obviously, but like out in the wild to see someone in a Bit Rot shirt?
Not as much. I mean, again, we spent a lot of time with Nocturne before that, so you'd see Nocturne shirts, Ghoultown shirts, all of those across the country, and which was
Cool.
great. But the weirdest shirt merch experience I had was when I played in Sonic Noise Terrorists, and we went to Jay's Diner up in Addison.
Yeah.
Which is-
Did you have a merch bitch?
This was long before I knew
before
her.
me, yeah.
But Nick and I went up in the middle of the night to work on some new songs, and there was a table sitting back at Jay's Diner with 2 kids wearing S&T shirts, and we were very confused because we figured we knew all 4 people that had bought those.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting one. But when it comes to Bit Rot, no, we see them out interesting, but the crowd has drastically changed for us. It used to be, you know, all of our friends and all of that, and now none of our friends will have anything to do with us. And so we
Okay,
still have a
so-
crowd, but we don't know any of them, and it's fantastic.
I want to apologize right now for missing your last show. I'm just kidding. All right. I think it was that
We
your
don't
last
even.
show.
We were in Marfa, I think, actually.
Yeah, they were Martha.
Well, as it starts out, when people decide that they've seen you many times, you'll start getting text messages the next day going, "Oh, so sorry, didn't make it out." And all. We're so far past that. No one even cares anymore. And they just tell you straight up, "Yeah, I'm not going." And we're like, well, fair enough.
You mentioned your next show is May.
Our next show is in May. It's not technically announced yet.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know too much about
Gotcha.
it.
Okay.
And we may or may not be playing with a band that I've been a fan of for a very long time. And I don't know if I should say anything. It's Reb. But
there you go.
We'll see.
I didn't hear nothing.
Keep an ear open for when we
I will.
have anything announced. But yeah, it should be towards the end of May. I don't know anything else about it as of yet because it hasn't actually been announced.
Would you relay all information through Miss Velvet Mystique, and she would please keep us updated, Velvet,
Yeah.
on the announcement for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she would have to because I don't do social media at all. I have
He's not on social
no
media.
Faceballs, no Instaballs or anything like that.
All right, no problem. Hey, but guess what does have balls? 2 girls, 1 camera.
Wait.
That,
We don't have balls.
We don't have balls.
Clarification,
I mean-
no balls. But take a look at this. I just love that.
I'm thinking
Oh, God.
balls might be a twist to that, though.
It might be. We might get some balls.
Well,
on
we
our
said
show.
we were talking about we need like a Scooby Doo type episode where somebody Scooby Doo's us. You
Do
know?
they still
Sorta.
sell truck balls? So you could just, I don't know, have
Oh,
them
the
in every
ones you
episode.
attach to your like tailgate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. But I was talking about
should
like
have those-
men. At some point, we're gonna have a man on our show that's gonna be a skeptic, and he just walks
man.
into the venue and just goes, "It's pipes," and then he leaves. And that's it. That's his
The
whole
pipes.
character.
Oh, the pipes.
Yeah, it's just pipes.
You might
and
know
They're
then he leaves.
expanding.
somebody who could do that one pretty easily.
Go ahead and read the script right now.
I mean,
It's pipes.
It's
Yeah.
pipes. Just say it's pipes.
it's squirrels.
There you go. Close enough. You'll do.
It's great when a band has a merch bitch, because then you're official.
We actually, I couldn't believe it, but we had a battle for merch bitching at our last show.
It
you have
was
like a-
not
do you have a battle?
It was not a battle.
Did you have like a wrestling match? I think everything should be
No.
solved in wrestling.
No, I mean-
Let's get the story from
And
Velvet.
some type of food. I'm just saying.
No,
We're not
it's
using any names.
no.
No, we have
but-
someone who's been helping us out for years.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
People want to sell your merch. That's the point. And
well, actually, only one really.
Okay.
And this is back to the band I joined when I moved to Dallas. That's where I know her from.
from Lubbock,
No, I moved from Albuquerque.
from Albuquerque. Got it. Got it. It
And-
was Lubbock, Albuquerque, and then Dallas. Got it.
Actually, Oklahoma in there as well.
Got it.
For
Okay.
going to school. But yeah, we have a very good friend who has helped us out for years, and I do have to say thank you for that. But you know, this one wanted to sell merch, and anybody who actually says they want to sell merch, I'm gonna let them,
Yeah.
because normally I have to beg people. And
And I was there really early. Like I was there with him during load-in.
And-
So
You got to be there early, and
Yeah.
you gotta cover that
Set up.
long shift.
yeah, and so our friend showed up and apparently was not thrilled that we had somebody else running merch, and
God
got
forbid
angry
it's
and-
one of the
and
band
left.
members' girlfriends.
and
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
out of all the things to that we've had people angry at us for, that's never one of them. I've had
That was a
in the
weird
past.
one.
So
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, and at that
So-
show I did merch not only for BitRock, but I did it for KinLab and what was the other one that was there?
C-Tech.
Oh, this was
So-
at Curtain Club.
242.
Yeah,
Wow, that
I
was a
did
show.
merch for all three of
Look
them.
at you, merch bitch.
Yep.
Chemlab.
Yeah,
Been
Camera
right.
was fantastic. That was the first industrial band that I ever saw live.
And it wasn't the headliner in Knights of Red, or an ex-member or something. Or am I thinking of another one?
That was C-Tech, and they're from 242.
Oh, two. Okay,
So
got it.
yeah, that was a
Velvet
fun
tells
show.
me you're into weird music, sometimes even noise. We got to get together,
absolutely.
man.
Absolutely.
Have you heard of this band called Cul-de-sac?
I have not.
We got to talk, brother.
Absolutely. I'm a big Merzbow fan.
Half the time in our living
Merzbow.
room, I'm like, what the hell is that you're listening to?
Oh my gosh,
It's not even music.
It
I'm
gets
sure.
objected to loudly in our home.
Not loudly. I'm very polite
going to
about
say-
it.
I'm
I'm
gonna
just like,
throw
what
this
the fuck
out
is
there.
this? You can keep playing it. It's fine.
Throw it out there.
Everybody should own at least one Merzbow or, you know, whatever Masana, any pure noise that you like.
It purifies you.
And everybody should have one of those and play it on occasion, because it really lets you know that music is an art form. It should have no rules. It should have no. It doesn't have to have verses or choruses.
It doesn't have to have structure.
melody.
It doesn't.
It doesn't have to anything. And everybody should have one of those, and nobody should really listen to it very much.
Okay.
So
Now,
afraid of
I
those.
sent Velvet. I sent you a video today. It's the band called the HU.
Yeah,
They're from
the Mongolian one.
Yeah, they're from Mongolia. Take a look at that when you can. I just thought it was
Check that
great.
out.
Any band from Mongolia, let's check it out.
I mean, I can't say any band from anything is good. That's a broad statement.
All right.
There's a famous saying that is art is 99% shit, 1% worth dying for, and I firmly believe that. I don't know which side we are on as BitRot though.
I think you're leaning towards good side.
I'd like to think that, but I might be a little misleading myself there.
All right, so straight, honest question. There, look at that. Look at that. Have you had anyone ever just sort of like fold their arms and walk out? At a
Oh,
gig?
every show.
Every show.
Every show. There is.
Well, I got to keep my camera ready.
There, without fail, I can't explain this. It's a weird situation, but there are always two blonde girls that get pissed off and leave.
The party girls.
Don't know why. They're always blonde. There's always two of them. And we do
Because
have
they
other friends.
came there together,
They
probably.
probably did. And then we actually have friends that won't go to our show. And because they're offended by something. And it's like, well, if you're friends with us, yeah, you should expect that. So,
all right. Well, that's interesting.
but yeah, every show we get people, one or two that walk out, but you know, we're just, and it keeps getting worse. It's not going to get any better,
But you love it looking down in the crowd when it's, I don't know, you can just tell that anarchy is taking over.
We've had some of those shows that have gotten fantastic, but I love looking out at the crowd and realizing I don't know any of those people.
Mm-hmm. And they're
I've
digging
seen
your
them
music.
at many shows, and I'm just kind of looking at them going, what the hell is wrong with you people? But I like it.
Yes.
So,
Didn't the singer of Silver Loves Mercury throw toilet paper at the audience
the
at one
girl-
of your shows?
she started that, and they ended up stealing all the toilet paper from the Curtain Club, and they toilet papered themselves as a crowd.
But this was meant as a gesture of respect.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. That was
Yeah.
the first time we played with them.
Yeah. Cool band.
They were a fun band. Roxy is, if I had a little retarded sister, that would be her.
Well, we don't say that really, but okay. Message taken.
Oh, I tell her that all the time,
Oh,
and
okay.
she actually agrees with it. So,
I
Now-
mean, they do have a song called Retard Prostitute, so.
Yeah. Okay.
as one does.
That's one
All
does.
in fun, all in fun.
It's all good fun. Bitrot is the band, and TWOIE WRONG is the guitarist, along with Chris and a drummer and another dude I don't know the name of, JT.
JT
And
and
so-
Logan's our drummer.
JT and Logan.
And Logan. All right, so we have 1/4 of the band here, and I'm immensely proud of that. And look, I don't know if this is an updated photo, but
That's our old drummer in there. But,
Okay.
I mean,
It doesn't look
it's nothing
updated.
but class.
You had no
We-
photos with Logan.
There's Logan right there.
Oh, well, there's Logan there. but-
Logan, the
can
drummer,
barely see
got
him.
him. I like him. He's great.
He's great.
Yeah, look, we have numerous photos of TWOIE.
That was touring with Evil Mothers.
Did you drive this big Escalade?
That is what we toured in.
Okay, badass, man. Was it all dark tinted?
It was. It was pretty fantastic.
And TWOIE's always flipping off somebody.
I mean, I don't really like having pictures taken so much.
Yeah,
but,
gotcha.
That's classy right there.
That is. Look at that. That's very. And who is the girl peeking over the shoulder?
I think that might be Lily, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. Okay,
think
we're
so.
zooming in. Okay.
I think that might be the ex-girlfriend.
Look at you, man. Oh no. Okay, sorry to bring that up.
Of the singer, not me.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Okay. All right.
Or it might be Sandy. I'm not
It
sure.
looks like Sandy.
It could be.
I think it's Sandy.
Hey, all right. This is our overhead cam.
Overhead
We are the Corpsepaint Show. This is our first episode of 2019.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
look at that. And we're
Shit.
covered in blood. We want to bring you love and blood, and we promise to do it every week. Every week.
We hope
in
everyone had a
2019.
great New Year's Eve celebration.
Thank you. Did you know that Janie Slash has a segment called Weekly Dose of Horror?
What about it?
Okay.
Is it,
I'm like
are
waiting.
we
I'm like,
segueing into this?
I guess so.
Are you
Actually,
guys, look,
ironically, I did not put this together this week. I was told to, and
No, but
then
look,
he did
look at
it
this,
for
look at this,
me.
look at this.
And I was like, okay, so should I get together and put my segment together? And he's like, already did it. I was like, okay, well, so
Weekly
here's my-
Dose of Horror, and there's a
here's my-
crotch shot or something.
my
I mean,
Right.
segment.
that's fantastic.
What horror movie are you going to talk about?
I have no idea.
You know,
What's the
Escape
trailers?
Room has just
That's
came
one
out.
of them. Is
Yeah.
Escape Room. I was going to talk about movies that I was looking forward to in 2019,
Okay, let's.
but we don't have any of those trailers. None of the movies I mentioned in our conversation were sent over.
But do you
so-
mind showing a couple of that we show you a couple of cool ones, and let's talk about it now.
the ones that he found.
Yes,
Mine were going to be like Happy Death Day 2,
Okay, but-
Pet Cemetery, you know.
Pet
yeah,
Sematary.
see, 2019 looking
Happy-
forward to.
Those are coming. Now, we'll do those, Janie Slash, but these are ones that just got released, and one of them is all about nuns. It's about a nun.
Okay, first of all, it
Now
was a
they're done.
restorative. It's not just released. It says restorative. So
But
it's an whole movie that was restored.
I love nun porn. No, wait, let me correct that. Nun movies.
It's called
Okay.
Hey, Satan, it's called Nunsploitation. I feel like this is something you should be up on.
No, I just said it wrong. It came out wrong.
Nun porn?
It's sort of like
Nun porn.
it's sort of like
Nunsploit-
Bitrot song. It's sometimes
Nunsploitation.
Nunsploitation.
I am gonna have to actually on the singer's phone we carry a folder on there. Anytime somebody says something stupid or funny, we save it on there, and it's been going on for years, and that's where a lot of the BitRock song titles come from.
Got it.
So I will have to text that to him.
Please.
Nun porn.
No, nunsploitation.
No,
Yeah.
nunsploitation.
Nunsploitation.
The first
You know,
movie up.
That's the one thing I bought from him when I went to California last year was the Nunsploitation box set.
It was a box
so
set.
fucking exciting.
It was a box
and
set.
the movies weren't even that exciting. But if you want to see a good Nunsploitation movie, Nude Nuns, Big Guns. I like that one.
Yes.
Yeah. She's
Recommend
nude.
that.
She's a nun and she has big guns.
She does.
So I don't know if this is part of what we're talking about. There's actually a nun in Brazil that quit being a nun, and she has a contract with Pornhub now.
There you go.
See?
That exists.
Does she do Brazilian fart porn though?
No.
You pay her enough, maybe.
We got to get together too. I think you and I have seen this.
You
girl,
should
I'm sure.
find her and ask her and let us know what the answer is.
I'm going to reach out to her and ask her to be a live guest. Look, the first movie for Weekly Dose of Horror by Janie Slash is Rust Creek, and it's about a powerful female who overcomes these Tennessee hillbillies.
We don't actually know if she overcomes them because it's just a trailer. So, I'm just pointing that out.
Can we have a look and then all of us criticize?
I'm hoping she lives.
Got it.
Not sure.
Turn left.
Think they seen us?
You need some help there, miss?
I was on my way to DC.
These woods, they can be a crazy place. Come on, miss.
What's your name? If you let me go, I promise I won't tell anyone anything.
You wouldn't make it 100 yards to shape your end.
The driver's name is Sawyer Scott. Nobody seems to know where she's at.
They find you here, they'll kill you.
Hello, cuz. Seems some girl went missing up here a couple days ago.
I ain't seen no girl. I'll take you someplace safe. My wife used to say, everyone we meet's a chemical reaction. They change us and we change them. Inside. And if there's trouble, run.
Stay the hell away from me.
Whatever you're into, you're gonna have to answer for it.
Cause you can run for a long time. You can run.
Hello. Yeah, so that's Rust Creek.
I'm pretty sure she lives, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
see,
that
look.
horror or action?
It's thriller.
Okay.
It's a horror thriller. Horror has many.
Since next month is Women in Horror Month, that was a female director and lead. I think it looks cool, Rust Creek. Now, since I also just watched Revenge, which I highly recommend, I don't know, I'm just kind of into that sort of chase film right now. So.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Her
Cool.
earrings were a huge distraction. In the
Her
whole
earrings?
movie. Yeah, in Revenge, the girl has these bright, are they pink?
Yeah.
Pink star earrings, and she's running from these guys and trying to get revenge on them. And I was like, I would have ditched those earrings. Like, they're like a major standout.
And I grew up in Tennessee, and that just happens there weekly.
All the time?
I mean, that's nothing normal. It's just like a documentary.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know
So-
what the deal
A
is.
day
with
in
it.
the life in Tennessee.
You might not need to watch it. You're
No,
yeah,
no.
okay.
It's pretty spot on.
So, all right. So here's the states that Tui has mentioned he's lived in. Texas, so it's Lubbock and Dallas. And then also New Mexico, we got Albuquerque, Oklahoma, Tennessee.
Nebraska.
No kidding.
That's where I was actually born. They birthed me there.
They birthed you in Nebraska.
Although I moved when I was 2 and I've never been back, so I don't know anything about it. I heard it sucks. But,
Okay.
I heard there's corn. But where else have I lived? I played in a band out of Jackson, Mississippi for a
really?
little bit. That was lovely.
Were they bluesy?
No, they actually had in Mississippi. That is the only place where I've ever actually seen a Waffle House across the street from a Waffle House, and that is all they have to eat there, and it's awful.
Yeah.
And
So you
we
got out of there.
Got out of there pretty quick.
Gotcha.
Whoa. What is it the All-Star breakfast at Waffle House?
Sounds like you went to the wrong Waffle House, man.
Some of them are okay, I guess.
Okay, you know what? I can't go back to Waffle House.
Janie Slash.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
We had a bad
can't.
experience at a Waffle House.
I have not.
I can't go back sober.
Well, no one should go there sober, but
I know. I learned my lesson.
I will say I enjoy Waffle House a lot less now. They used to have jukeboxes where they had people write music over all of their menu items. And we would go up to the jukebox and load in a couple bucks and pick all the menu items and leave. And that was our big thing at Waffle House. And that became an ongoing thing. And then I actually got the CD of all the Waffle House themes. And I took that on a Nocturne tour, and that made it not even to the first chorus before that got ripped out.
They threw it out the window.
No, they gave it back to me politely with, we don't ever want to hear that again.
Right.
Which has happened to most of the CDs that I would
So
play on tour.
a lot of the music you play, you probably are told that, right? Does Velvet like object, like, I don't want to hear that anymore?
No, it's more the other way with her. I worked at record shops for a long time, independent record shops. I ran one here in Dallas for a long time, which means that I have the best taste in music ever.
Can I pause you right there? Which one?
I used to run CD World.
On Mockingbird?
I worked at the Mockingbird one, but I ran the one up in Addison.
I knew you looked familiar, man.
So.
I spent big bucks in there.
Oh, wow.
The one at Mockingbird and Lover?
Mockingbird no, I worked Mockingbird
and Greenville?
Greenville, but I ran the one up in
They had a good
Addison.
punk section, I remember.
Punk, the one up in Addison, we had the big Goth Industrial and Black
Okay,
Metal.
on Beltline?
Yes.
I was in there all the time.
Yeah, that was my store.
Yes.
So, I used to have long hair and...
We talked. I would bring in bags of CDs because I'd put them all on I'd transfer them all to digital, and then I'd sell the CDs.
Oh, crazy.
And sometimes it was like hundreds of dollars, man. I'd get, and I'd do that every other week.
Yeah, that was my store for like 6 years.
So heads up to Janie Slash, our house would even more be covered in CDs if I hadn't converted everything to
I can't
digital.
even think about it. I can't imagine. We have a ridiculous amount of CDs.
Yeah, I had to...
I'm like, what's in these cabinets? Oh shit, more CDs. Close the cabinet. Don't even look at it. Yeah, that's my house.
Are there any more of those open anywhere?
The only one that I really know of is Good Records on Lower Greenville, which was...
No, I mean CD Warehouse.
Well,
Well, one CD Warehouse, it was CD World.
CD World.
CD
I'm
World.
sorry.
No,
World.
we were a private. We only had 2 of them. It
Oh,
was,
okay.
I think it's.
with one
I
owner.
think you're thinking of a CD Warehouse, and I think there's one in like Arlington.
I've heard there's a CD Warehouse or 2 still open, but I haven't been to one.
There's one in Arlington. I'm pretty sure. It's like right next to a comic
You been to
book
Josie
store.
Records?
Yes, I've been there once. I actually sold quite a bit of CDs there when I
Oh,
was
you-
moving. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, you made some cash.
Yeah, they and it was one of those horrible situations again in Dallas, where Dallas had become a small town, but I could never have been there before, walk in, and I knew half the staff from other stores. And it was, but at least you could pull out the card of like, okay, I know what these are worth.
I remember thinking
The expensive ones. So.
I used to think you were tall because you behind the counter you'd like step up 2 or 3 steps and then like way above the customer. And I'm like, this dude is
we
tall,
had to be
you
able
know?
to look
So-
across the store that way.
Gotcha.
But,
Okay. Yeah.
Make sure no one's stealing.
Yeah.
Does TWOIE ever suggest music for you?
All the damn
Wait.
time.
For
Does it
Deadly
annoy
Sins?
the shit out of you too?
Yes.
Okay, good. See, I'm not alone.
But wait a
Not
minute. We
alone.
have good suggestions.
No, they're all terrible. You don't understand. You just don't know how to burlesque.
Yeah, to be like, you should dance to this song, and then it's like totally offbeat, and I cannot hold a rhythm to it whatsoever.
I
And it's
will
like, no,
admit there
I
is
can't.
one song. There's one song that Satan recommended that I kept telling him, "There's no fucking way I can ever make that song work." And then one day it hit me, and I made it fucking work. And it's actually probably my most popular routine. And that's Psycho Killer.
Should listen to the music people.
Psycho Killer was
Not
a
out there.
very hard song to make happen, but I did it. And now everybody's like, are you going to do Psycho Killer for Halloween? You should do it in June, too, for halfway to Halloween. So I perform it like twice a year.
But TWOIE, are you like me? Like every few years, you this curiosity about the talking heads, and you're trying to figure them out, man. And then I forget about them for a while. And then
I'm actually not a huge fan of Talking Heads. They're one of those bands to me that I like their singles, but I don't like any of their album tracks. They're same pain as like Billy Idol. And I love Billy Idol, 4 songs.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Love Billy Idol. I love Gen X, but Billy Idol himself is like, oh man, that's great. The rest of that album is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But Talking Heads, I've had more of an interest in them recently than I ever have before. But
well, this is what I mean. I think for a music person, every once in a while, you kind of get an appreciation for them. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just one of those bands that never did much for me. But, and again, working at record shops for a long time, it was our job to listen to new music all day, every day, surrounded by a bunch of nerds critiquing everything.
Oh.
And there was always new stuff to listen to, because we probably had 100,000 titles in there. And it was go grab something, put it on, bag on it with a bunch of people, and grab the next one and continue on that way. But it really, especially when you're around people who are very passionate about music and can explain why something is good or bad to them or makes sense, you learn a lot about music that way. And you also, if you listen to enough music, you can hear everything that's already been done. And that's where, yeah, you can play something and listen to it going, yep, that's been done 15 times already and better every time but this. So my new theory, working theory, is if you listen to the radio today and you like it, you don't actually like music. I might be wrong with that, but yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Depends on the station.
No,
yeah.
It doesn't.
It does.
Not at all.
That's funny. All right. So we have this nun movie. It's called La Religieuse.
Is
it's
it really
French.
called La Religieuse?
Yeah, yes. It's sort of like when you say Beetlejuice. It's La Religieuse.
That was just Beetlejuice.
It's a French film.
TWOIE can speak French. How do you pronounce it, TWOIE?
I would have to see it, but
you would have to read it.
Well, let us know.
Yeah, well,
after
we'll show it.
video.
All right, so this is the nun who is pushed into the abbey, or what do you call it? The convent.
We should just watch the trailer.
Who doesn't want to be there.
We won't watch the trailer.
That
we'll
happened a lot. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Je suis ici contraint et forcé. Je n'ai aucune vocation. Suzanne, combien vous êtes belle. Est-ce que vous sentez en vous-même des mouvements, des désirs? Non. Ta supérieure doit connaître toutes tes pensées. Je demande à être libre. Quoi, sœur Suzanne, vous voulez nous quitter? Oui, madame. Avez-vous prévu les persécutions qui vous attendent?
Mes sœurs, l'une de vous a péché gravement contre la sainte obéissance.
Vous êtes donc coupable. De quoi? De tout. Je n'ai rien fait qui puisse offenser ni Dieu ni les hommes. C'est donc un parti pris que vous voulez vous faire. Je ne sors rien d'ici.
The film was banned when it was first made. It was banned in France. It was banned in America.
Velvet's seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, cool.
See?
It's a really good movie.
Yeah. La Religieuse.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone else has a little half-master going, right?
What?
All right, so on our back bed of music is playing right now is Hansel and Gretel. I always wondered if you were into them.
Love
Oh,
Hansel
yeah.
and Gretel.
Yeah.
No kidding.
We got to see
Love
them.
them.
Yeah. I'm jealous.
We saw them at Elysium in Austin.
In Austin.
There was like maybe 5 people in the crowd.
Fantastic show.
I may have played with them.
You might have played with
I played
them.
with them as Nocturne, actually. But Yeah.
When you play with them, was it a full band? Because
I've played with them as the full band, which I find so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only saw the
agreed.
2 of them.
And now they've moved on to just the 2 of them, and I sort of bag on bands that I'm a fan of, but live, they're better with the full band, as most bands are.
Sure.
So.
Sure. It was still a great show. I still am a huge fan. And you know, we kind of noticed that they drive around the country in a little car, and it's just the 2 of them, and they make it work, and they do the whole show. And
So much cheaper to tour with 2 people. So much cheaper, but you know, it cuts down half the stink of the van and all of that. But it's,
the van has stink.
The van gets stink.
I've heard van horror
musicians.
stories. I
Gotcha.
haven't been in any, but I've heard.
Rank in there.
It can be, depending on the band, but no, they're a fantastic band. Very much enjoy them. And their first album, I don't know if you ever listened to it, but I would never have expected them to take the jump to what they went to.
Yeah, which is just so well produced and just strong. I don't know if you call it industrial, but it's just, I love it.
Well, industrial used to be a much broader term, and industrial was one of those terms where, you know, 80s, 90s, where it could be anything from techno to goth, like in between. It's, I don't know, like
it's kind of like the phrase post-punk. It can be very broad.
it can be very broad, and when you start putting all the different, you know, genre wearing it down, then you get a bunch of kids who are into 5 bands in total that sound exactly the same. It's a little limiting once you start adding that. So a term like industrial was such a big wide label that anything could be. I mean, Throbbing Gristle is industrial, and they don't use electronics, so it's kind of nice that way. But yeah, Hunts on Griddle, they definitely would fit that grouping, I think, by mine. But
I think we need to call in 2 girls, 1 camera.
I think
Because
so.
I heard something. I did.
This place is not haunted.
It's not?
No.
Okay. See how quick they are?
It's
They're very efficient.
It's a squirrel.
It's no. But 2 girls, 1 camera, and
I'm pretty sure if you heard anything, it was probably Ziggy.
I think they can roam around anywhere and investigate, and this would be interesting. Either have someone else film, or you guys film yourselves, and it's you know.
Well, it's gonna be American Ghost Hunters style filming,
But a lot
so
sexier.
we
Yes.
hold cameras, but there may be like a camera person behind us as well,
Gotcha.
kind of filming the outside
Sure.
view.
Sure.
So it's definitely gonna be like American Ghost Bros, but it's Ghost Babes.
Are you able to stay up all night?
No.
Is really-
No,
I will fall asleep.
It's gonna be like the filming of those things where they're only out there for like 3 hours and then they
They'll
call
be
it a
like,
night.
"Do you
Yeah.
hear that?" And they'll be like, "Oh, that's Janie snoring."
Yeah.
That's me. I'll probably be snoring.
Now Janie is the queen of rats, and so I'm thinking she might bring a rat. I want
She
to be
has
certain.
so many pet rats. I was very impressed when I was over there.
That's Ramon right there.
I'll bring the blind one. She can't see a ghost.
But she could sense it, I think.
She can sense
and
it.
she would wiggle her
because
ears.
she's blind, like her senses are like insane.
Yes, they're
Piper
Piper.
can get anywhere. She's crazy. She's
It-
amazing.
so-
she's got big ears too. Like they're huge. So she's like can hear everything.
It's a radar.
Yeah, she's a like a hairless Dumbo rat.
Is it
So she
hairless?
She has,
That's blind.
I have a hairless,
Yes.
blind,
A
one-eyed
hairless-
Dumbo rat. Yeah.
She has
this-
other rats too, though.
Yeah, I have 7. Yeah.
And this
But-
is a very popular
some of them
rat.
are
But
the hairless
Piper
one.
is like the favorite. Everybody comes over and they fight over who gets to hold Piper.
I'll
Can-
hold any rat you
Can
give
you
me.
send Chris that text? Because hairless, blind Dumbo rat, I don't know. I think
A hairless blind Dumbo rat, I mean,
A hairless, blind, one-eyed. She has one eye.
send Chris that text
One-eyed
right now
rat.
because
She's a one-eyed rat. She's a hairless.
This is
My-
something that was actually said.
I text Scarlett that one day, and she's like, "Oh, she's blind and she has one eye, and that poor thing, she's hairless too." And I was like,
And
"She's
she's a Dumbo.
supposed to be hairless.
Yeah, she's a hairless breed.
She's naked."
so the rat was born with the
Well,
lack of hair. but
I inherited her, and when I inherited her, she had both eyes. But like her eyes just went. Well, like one of them got glaucoma, and the other one ruptured. It had nothing to do with me. It's just their genetics.
Yeah.
I took her and got them taken care of. I took her that.
Don't
I took
look
her
at
to.
me, Terry. Don't
No,
look at me.
You know what? There are optometrists for fucking rats.
Yeah,
Yes.
they are.
It was so expensive.
Okay,
I
now
took her-
Janie Slash knows the name of this. There is a procedure where you suck out an eyeball.
I took her to I forgot what it's called, but I took
think
her.
you should
I
text
took her
Chris that,
to a eye doctor, like for rats, and they looked at it and they were like, "We're gonna have to have her eye removed." They wanted to actually remove both.
They use a vacuum cleaner.
But they could only no, they don't. Shut up. It's called it's a nucleated. Is what it's
okay.
called, a nucleation, and they could only enucleate one because she almost died.
It's good work.
So they saved the other eye, but she can't see. But she's really cute, and she had little stitches, and she had to wear a cone.
Oh, you put a rat in
I'm
front of
thinking-
Shane.
Yeah,
They did, and
you
she
have
couldn't-
to.
Yeah,
She
we
couldn't-
did.
They caught it.
And she was like banging around.
She was
and-
like upside down trying to push it off with both her little paws, and then she like couldn't move because she kept trying because it kept dragging the ground and it would collect all the bedding in it. The poor thing, she looked like
Oh, that's right,
like
yeah.
a bulldozer. She had like all. I took it off. She never fucked with her eye. I felt too
we
bad
just took
about
it off. And we told the vet we had it on the whole
Yeah,
time.
she's fine. She didn't do shit to it.
Sounded like lying to the doctor.
Right. Right. They were like, she has that cone on, right? I was like, yes.
Ah, it's fine. It's great.
But the world is her toilet because she's blind, so she might pee on you if you hold her. That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, the world is her toilet. She
Hold
can't
on.
see.
Tuli has a thought on this.
Well, the thing is, like, if you have an excuse, wouldn't you do that too?
Yes.
Like,
I'd be like, oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm blind. I'm just gonna randomly pee on you because I can, and you can't get mad because I'm handy capable.
It's true.
I feel a song coming on. I
Hey,
really do, man.
She peed on somebody at the party. I was like, she's gonna pee on you, and they're like, eh.
That should be a song. The
did.
world is your toilet.
What-
I mean, we're kind of classy though.
That's true. That's borderline. Like,
Okay, but look,
Nah.
when you live outdoors, like those hillbillies in the trailer. I mean, outdoor. If you live outdoors,
literally in the trailer.
trailer in the
There
trailer.
was a trailer
In the trailer.
In the
In
trailer.
the trailer, there was a trailer. It was a nice
Inception
trailer.
of trailers.
Did that look like a Tennessee
I
trailer?
will only be in a trailer
I mean,
if we're
don't
filming
all
a
trailers
trailer.
Kind of look the same.
And I will only film a trailer if it's in a trailer. That's it.
Yeah.
And we have one more movie for Janie Slash, Weekly Dose of Horror. Now, this is a true story. It happened in Scotland. The
I
movie.
thought you were talking about Escape Room. I was like, what?
That's out this week.
We should have two, and you have.
Yeah.
We're going
The-
to skip Escape Room. Is that what's happening now?
The movie is called The Vanishing, and it's about 3 lighthouse keepers who all disappeared off the rocky coast of a Scotland.
Sounds like a job for 2 girls, 1 camera.
It does, doesn't it? But funny things happened before they disappeared, and then it's like body parts were washing up on the rocky beach and such.
You know,
To be
I
fair though, it is Scotland, so is that really funny, or is that just like a normal day there too?
So it's
well,
like
what was
Tennessee.
it? There was
Like, body
there
parts
was
wash
a
up, people are
story about
drunk,
body
like-
parts washing up, and
Yeah.
it turned out like what was? Oh, fuck, I can't remember what it was. It turned out to be a totally normal thing. Not in Scotland, but like in this YouTube video I was watching, and talking about how body parts would just wash up on the shore, and it like it was like from like I don't remember. It was totally normal. It was supposed to be that way. Nobody got murdered or anything.
Oh,
So,
Totally
totally a pointless
normal.
story because I don't have the
from a
answer.
plane
let's find out
No,
what
it wasn't
happened.
from a plane
Let's see what's
crash.
going
It was
on
like
with
from an
this.
organ transplant or something. I don't know. Something happened, and
That,
No, let's check it
that's not normal.
or maybe it wasn't normal. Maybe people were getting their limbs like I don't know. I'll Google it. While
The
we're
movie
watching
is called The
trailer.
Vanishing. And it unfortunately has Gerard Butler in it. He's playing a Scotchman.
Well, you
What?
have to.
Let-
What?
He's
I
like
thought,
the most famous.
I thought he
Scotch
was
actor.
Is he Scottish?
That's
I don't know.
B-rated.
Yes.
Wait,
Alright.
most famous Scottish
I said
actor.
most famous actor that's
Sean Connery.
B-rated.
You know,
B-rated. Got
speaking,
it.
there was a rat named Gerard Butler. He's pretty popular.
Gerard.
Gerard.
Okay.
Butler.
Show
I
us
see what they
Ramon
did
for a
there.
second. All right.
We don't talk about this. You tell no one, and I mean absolutely no one. One more spoken, and we are dead.
And when we get back,
Nothing. We carry on. And you do exactly as I say.
Now you turn up. Is that all you're taking?
That's all I have.
hello, sweetie. I love you, Mitty.
No, you do.
Thomas!
What is it? You alive?
He's not breathing!
The trunk. Drill it up.
Hold on, Dad!
You need to know what's in the chest.
It's this shot.
I'm opening it.
Someone's going to come after this.
What do you mean?
That's a lot more dangerous than you think.
Go back. Hide the gold.
People are going to ask questions.
We found something. No.
They'll come back.
What do we do? We'll be careful.
Stick together. Understand?
We have to leave.
We're not going anywhere.
Where's my gold? We all have to pay for what we've done.
Go and help us.
Not to be confused with the other Vanishing film.
So I lied. It's not totally normal, but what I was talking about was that apparently feet wash up on the shore near Washington State in Vancouver.
Okay.
Apparently from just corpses that are either lost at sea or people that have drowned. And apparently your foot will dislocate, like the salt in the water will dislocate, especially if it's attached to a shoe. It's like a floating device, and so it'll detach your feet. So feet wash up on shores all the time.
And the marine creatures eat the rest of the body, but not the feet.
Maybe, I don't know, but that's why Velvet, and I just read it, like will detach. And that's why feet apparently is a pretty normal thing to wash up on a shore.
Probably munching on it, and then it's like, kink,
and then yeah, because they find feet still in the shoe,
Yeah, in the shoe.
like in a hiking boot.
And so the sea creatures can't eat the shoe. They eat.
Roots are tough.
They eat the rest of the body.
Yeah.
So we had this author
They
on
can
named-
identify people by their feet.
Like, speaking of bodies being cut apart, we had this
That-
author
that
on,
sounds
Jess Hageman.
really morbid.
Her book is called Head Cheese, and it's a novel, but it's about groups that she became involved with.
Amputation fetish.
Amputation fetish.
Oh.
I'm thinking of a song title here.
I mean,
Will you stop that? That's annoying. That's
We-
about
we
as
come
bad
up-
as you
I-
like recommending burlesque songs for me.
Okay, I was going to say we, but I should say I have come up with 10 song ideas here in the last few
yeah,
minutes. I'm
you're
just
no.
saying.
Okay. Well, I just have one thing to say about the Vanishing movie.
Yes.
Is it is Scottish and says based on a true story, so that type of stuff happens in Scotland all the time. It's just normal.
Based on a true
Again,
story.
documentary.
It's like a girl breaking down on the highway in Tennessee, and then two yahoos try and help her.
Well, and you know, yeah.
What's a Yahoo? A hillbilly?
Yes.
Yahoo is an internet website.
They might be into punkabilly, but they're probably a hillbilly.
Yahoo. I have a Yahoo account.
Anyways, Weekly Dose of Horror, Janie Slash. Any mystery you have, please reach out to us. On our website, there is a contact button. So we want ideas for Two Girls, One Camera. They will investigate, even if it means flying to Seattle.
You have to fly us though.
Yeah, you have to pay the expenses.
We can't afford that.
Yeah, and they expect a nice hotel, really. I'm just saying.
Yeah, haunted hotel, or not haunted because we need some sleep.
Haunted by a squirrel.
True.
I want to go to that hotel with where that chick was found on the water tower. What's it?
Oh, the
Think of
Cecil
it.
Hotel.
The
That is
Cecil.
now called something else.
It's
I
now
can't
called
remember.
like in your stay or extended.
Yeah,
it's like
they
half of the
rebranded
hotel, and they rebranded it and tried to make it nice. But apparently, it's really cheap to stay at because I looked
Yeah.
into it.
But people were drinking the water where the body had been floating.
Yeah, that whole thing is freaking weird.
I don't think they drank it because they said it appeared black.
Yeah, I think
Like
they
the water appeared
well,
black, so they were like,
that was after she'd been up there for like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Her feet
Never
were
mind,
found
they've
later.
Been drinking some dirty body water.
And then they found her.
That's actually a really sad story. She had like bipolar and stuff.
Oh.
And they think her mental illness is what made her do that. So.
Oh, it wasn't a murder.
No.
it
The
wasn't a
only
murder.
weird part was that how she moved. How did the big heavy lid get moved on top of the water
Right.
tank? Because it
Okay.
was really heavy, and there's no way she could have moved
Well,
it from the
then
inside herself.
All right, Two Girls, One Camera.
But it
Figure
could have
this
just
out.
been somebody coming up and they're like, "Oh, this is open," and then pulled it closed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like a maintenance
that's
guy.
pretty routine. It's pretty normal, pretty standard.
Got it.
To move
Hey,
the
I-
lid, not what happened.
Yeah.
Ryler's our engineer on the board. I don't know if I've sent him a flyer for our show for next week.
Ooh, we should go to Salem.
I don't know if I did.
I wanna
But
go to Salem.
guess who we have on next week is Sam De La Rosa. He's the artist, comic book artist who created Venom.
Nice.
Yeah, Venom. Anyways, more on our Facebook page about next week's guest. So,
Are you not going to watch the trailer for Escape Room? Is that not happening all of a sudden?
okay, we have to ask our engineer because I think I told him we were going to skip that one.
We can
So-
skip it. No, we'll skip
No.
it.
We'll
It's
skip
fine.
it. It's
You
fine.
can
We
see
watched
it
enough
all the
horror
time, and we
movies.
watched enough. No, it's fine. We're
No,
fine.
no, we're good.
I was just no, it's cool. I'm just giving him grief. That's what I do.
Well, you said you can do it too.
No, I don't want to watch it.
We're good.
We've seen it.
We've seen a lot of horror.
It's over.
right, fair enough.
I don't even like escape rooms.
Yeah.
They're not fun to me.
You did one for work.
Yeah.
And how awful was that?
I didn't get out.
Did anyone get out?
No.
Did any of the teams figure out the room?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like you gotta have like a relationship already to like figure things out.
Two girls,
It
one
was
camera.
a lot of math.
I would have given up. I would have been like, first
It
math
was
problem, I would've
like,
been like, fuck.
yeah, no, it was like hieroglyphics and math.
Ugh.
Like the hieroglyphics interpreted to math, and
No,
you're
thank
like,
you.
and then you can't have a calculator, so you have to do these big ass shit numbers in your head, and you're like,
It wasn't feeling the walls for a secret passageway?
no, it wasn't like Legends of the Hidden Temple, which was what I thought it was gonna be like. I was super fucking excited. I thought there was gonna be some crazy ass slide and shit.
Oh.
Did you watch that? Or are you too young for that?
No, I watched that.
Okay, yeah, that shit was rad.
Hey, you know what?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh no, it's cool. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because that was called The Ruins, and I was like, oh, this shit's gonna be rad.
And
No.
there was like a big
No.
rock guy. that-
Everything looked plastic, and you had to open up boxes with like a combination.
There was one in Fort Worth. I don't know if it was attached to the Cutting Edge Haunted House. Or
Is it the one with the
something.
zombie?
Yes.
Where you have to like the chain lengthens?
Yeah, the chain lengthens if you don't.
Did
like,
you
get out
do
of the
that
Oh.
room.
one?
No, but I watched somebody else do it.
We should
and-
do one as a burlesque troupe and read a lot of reviews
Oh.
and pick one.
Okay.
They'll probably have to split us into two teams.
Did they only do that around Halloween?
That one I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it for a while.
That's something I'd be
I'm
interested
like
in.
really busy.
So I got a question for
I'm
Two
pretty
Girls,
sure you're
One
probably
Camera.
really busy too.
Guess who our
Two Girls, One
sponsor
Camera.
is on this show?
Corpse Factory.
Corpse Factory.
See, they can figure out anything.
Hey.
That person, I got this amazing purse from Corpse Factory.
Yeah, but hold it up. And also, you've got a Living Dead doll next to you. That's a new one.
I can't find the other eye. There he goes. Oh wait,
Okay.
now he's off the camera.
I fisted him last week.
She
Yes.
did. She did. We also talked. Somebody also told me about that on New Year's. How excited they were about you fisting the purse.
Ooh.
Well, let's do it again.
No.
No.
Well,
we're good.
oh,
I mean,
okay.
twice
Has
as
to be in
pornographic.
We had a
Well,
talk.
okay.
And
Dino.
Only
he
once.
said that he felt
Not
violated
Applebee's.
and was
Not
tired of being fisted and did not like whenever I put car keys in him because it's sharp.
Too sharp. All right.
Which he got his revenge last night because he kept assaulting Velvet with
Oh
his
yeah,
horns.
she kept like she was getting out her money for Topo Chico last night because she performed last night, and I went to go see her, and she or the horns on it like kept grazing my groin area. And I was like, ooh, hi there.
It was not intentional. I promise.
It was so intentional.
Grazing the groin. We
I
should
was-
text that to Chris.
Velvet turned around and was like, could you please quit assaulting me with the horns on your purse? Or violating me?
I was like, stop violating me with your purse.
Sorry.
All right, but who of you two
excited,
would
it's
like to hold up
horny.
the Living Dead doll that is sponsored by
She
Corpse
can.
Factory? All right, so that'll be Janie Slash. Okay.
It's called
Which-
The Dark.
Got
I'm
it.
evil. Oh no, pure evil. I like it. He sleeps with the worms.
Do they all sleep with the worms? Because the one last week slept with the worms.
They all sleep with the worms. I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sure. Do you sleep with worms?
Good God, no.
I sleep with rats.
Yeah.
All right, so look, to find these products, including that cool backpack that is a goat head with horns and a pentagram, you would go to corpsefactory.com, right, Tui?
Absolutely.
Yes, and you would find all this badass product there, corpsefactory.com. is our partner on this show, along with Little Spark Films. We appreciate them doing the Two Girls, One Camera mock-up graphic, as well as a lot of our everyday work.
The boobs are in the lens. I just want to point that out. They are fucking in there.
Oh, they're touching.
But it's weird because there's like a space gap.
We
Oh my
can
God,
fill
what
that
happened
in.
to my boobs?
It got cut off.
Are you itching your butt too? That's my question.
Yeah, I am. I like how there's a finger that distinctly
There's a
shows
finger
me
in your
either
ass.
sticking it in my ass
Oh.
or scratching my ass.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And there's like, it feels
Oh no,
right
you're
there.
taking off your underwear.
Oh,
That's supposed to be a thong.
Oh, I'm pulling my underwear off. That makes sense. That's totally me.
I like how I'm just on the
I'll go
ground,
with
like
itchy
I have
butt.
no idea what's going on.
Itchy butt just it
Kinda
sounds more.
Well,
realistic.
it was an intense
down to
itch
earth.
that I had to remove my thong to itch.
Yes. Oh, it's one of
there you
those
go.
kind.
And I'm like, hey, Velvet, come help me itch this. And that's why
I
she's
know what
like,
she's talking
she's
about.
like, I'll crawl to you.
I'll
Yeah,
crawl
she-
to you.
She's crawling to help me with my itch.
Yep.
If you got to remove a thong to itch, you're going. That's digging in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had to dig in.
Well,
there.
it
And
causes
she needed-
itches.
You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know the pain we women go
You
through.
don't have to
Right,
shave.
we don't. It is not easy being a guy
Butt
either.
floss
Look,
is awful.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Okay, got it. Okay. So we're kind of wrapping up on our time here, and we really appreciate TWOIE WRONG from Bitrot being in our studio.
Well, thanks for having
Velvet Mystique is our / co-host, wonderful guest, and thank you, Velvet.
You're welcome.
But TWOIE, we want to know everything that's going on, man, with Bitrot and your fun shows.
Thank you for
Can we just say, just look right in that camera and say, if you haven't been, get to a Bitrot show. The next one is coming up, and just follow them on Facebook, and you'll find out. But get to one of those shows because it is so offensively fun. You'll have a great time.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the most important thing is for us is that we have a good time. But if everyone else enjoys it, that's cool too. So definitely come out and check it out. It's not your normal band.
It's not
your normal shows, and we kind of like it that way.
You can find them on Spotify and YouTube.
See, I didn't know that. All right. So on Spotify, can we buy your music?
Yeah, you can get it at Spotify, iTunes, Amazon,
on
all of
music.
those. It's
Great.
It's everywhere, and
All the songs we mentioned today.
all the songs today, and we may, due to everybody yelling at us, we may actually be working on a new album sometime soon.
People are yelling at you for that. Don't you hate it when annoying fans they keep asking you about a new album?
It's like we have a bunch of new songs we play live, and they are very angry that they can't own them. So
These annoying fans, they always demand stuff of bands.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, just let the creative process take its course. Am I right?
Yeah, it's like appreciate that we're very lazy.
Embrace the fact.
It wouldn't be like that if we weren't.
And see, it makes you create better music. You embrace your, whatever, your faults, your weaknesses, your strengths, all of it.
I mean, I don't know if it's better music, but it's something. And we pride ourselves on not practicing or anything else, so it works out very well.
Can I suggest another song title? Let's steal Head Cheese.
No,
it's not copyright.
No,
it's a title of a book.
Shush! Don't even say that on air. That's terrible. What is wrong with you?
Don't
We
steal
love
a
Jess
book
Hageman.
title.
We love
I'm
Jess
gonna
Hageman.
throw this evil doll at
Copyright
you
much.
and yell some shit.
Okay, 2 girls, 1 camera.
2 girls,
Figure
one
out what's
itch.
going on this show because I feel like
This is what I
we've
just
lost
read in our
control.
chat room. That's because the show's about over.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So let's talk about Deadly Sins. Next show coming up.
Yes,
Oh,
January 19th.
Yeah.
At Wits End.
So it's in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. Feels
Right.
like we just performed.
I know, we did.
Now, this is around the time of the Super Blood Moon Wolf Moon. Are you aware of the fact that Super Blood Moon Wolf Moon will be, I think it's January 20th.
Oh.
So on the night of the 19th, you're going to be up late. You're going to be seeing that moon from the lovely, sexy rooftop of Wits End in Deep Ellum.
True.
And it's a it's
Or
a lunar
You
eclipse.
could just come to the show and watch our boobs.
Our
Yeah.
moons.
Our moons.
Your moons. 2 girls, many moons.
2 girls, 2 moons.
All right.
Blood moon, though. All bad for that one.
Oh yeah.
Thought too much into that.
Anyways, that's on the 19th at Witsound. It's Deadly Sins Burlesque and Sideshow. Produced by Janie Slash. And thank you, Janie, for, man, keeping that going for over 5 years. Longest running burlesque show in Deep Ellum.
Just in
every
Deep Ellum.
month. Every month.
Amazing.
Just in Deep Ellum.
Every month.
Just in Deep Ellum.
Yes, definitely. If you haven't been to check one out, absolutely go out.
You
It's
had a
good
great time last time you were
I've
at
had a
it.
great time. Every time
He
I've been.
blew up like 50 balloons and threw them out in the audience.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay, A, that wasn't me.
He-
B, it was a lot
he-
more than 50.
You
He got me to-
delegated.
he got
You
me to
delegated
help.
others
It's not my
to
fault
blow
if
up
other
those.
people
He
listen to
he
me.
was like, "Hey, I have an idea," and I was like, "Oh, that sounds fun." And then after about 10 in, I was like, "Oh, this seems like a bad idea."
Terrible idea. But I didn't do it.
And then Dee and Sam got involved, I think, and that's when it went to like craziness. And then people kept popping them while we were on stage.
No, it wasn't Sam. It was Dee and her friend.
Oh, okay.
Or Sarah.
Sarah.
It was Sarah. Sarah and Dee.
Oh,
Blew
okay.
those up.
Okay,
Sam was
sorry.
not there that night.
Sam was not there. Sorry, I didn't mean to like pull Sam into this.
Yeah, don't be pulling my
She's
Sam
still
into
guilty
it.
for something.
No.
I just know that there were balloons everywhere, and every time we
Yeah.
did something, it would pop, and I would almost like shit my
yeah,
pants
people
on stage.
kept popping them, and it sounded like quasi gunshots in the background. It was horrifying.
It made the show memorable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tui and I have agreed to get together and talk about horrible noise nick music and
Yeah.
crazy noisy crazy shit music.
Yeah.
I found this band called 7 Minutes of Nausea, and I cannot even really I can't even really kind of put my head around it because it's so insane. But you'd probably like it.
I'm interested in checking out anything that is unique.
And remember that video by the Mongolian.
And interesting because those are two things that are hard to come by these days.
It is. Yeah. We embrace it all. Janie Slash, thank you so much. And the 19th is where people can see you live and in person.
We're not connected. Oh,
Hey,
we're back. Yay.
hey, can everybody say thank you to Richard? It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Richard.
Richard N,
I saw
thank
him
you very
last
much.
night.
Yes, appreciate you, Richard. And it's his birthday today.
Right now.
Today.
This second.
At the Corpsepaint Show, we hope you get what you deserve. We hope you get what you deserve. That is our motto for 2019.
Yep. And we hope you have a good week.
Yeah, and a good week. And I don't know, I feel like I lost something.
See you
Velvet, thank you for being here again.
No problem.
You rock.
I'll be here.
Thank you, Siri, for coming.
We were
on the
actually at Applebee's last night. Take it back, it was a Denny's.
show. It was
No,
a
it
Denny's.
was a Denny's.
Much classier.
And had a wonderful late night meal.
Yes, we did.
We're going to say, hey, can we say thank you to Ryler for operating boards tonight for us?
The boys.
Yeah, that. Yeah. How would you say that in Tennessee?
I'm not from there. So
How would you say it in Nebraska?
In the north, you would say, thank you for operating the boards. We also pronounce the T in Denton.
It's Denton.
You can tell
Okay.
who's
Denton.
from Texas
It's
and who's
Denton.
not.
All right, so you have a
You have
disagreement
three
with
against
Velvet
one.
about this because
I absolutely do.
It's not Denton.
In
It is-
Denton.
There's a fucking T in it.
It's like a
It's
light
Denton.
No, it's
tea.
Denton.
It's not a strong
yeah,
tea.
there's no T.
There's no T. It's Denton.
It's just like Italy is,
I will
is
argue
Italy
this
and not
forever.
Italy.
It's like saying dentist. Do you say dentist or dentist?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
It's
no, no,
not
no,
a
no,
Texas
that's-
town.
You can't bring in another word.
Dentist is not a Texas town. Denton is.
yeah.
There's only
You gotta pronounce those Texas towns right.
Look, I want you guys to
Except
settle
Tyler.
out of court and
for
please
Tyler.
embrace each
Tyler.
other and tell each other you love each other. Okay, no more arguing about anything.
I love you.
Aw, look at you. There you go.
She said last week you're the love of her life.
Oh, I did on air too.
Man,
I was like,
a couple of
the
times.
love
Then I was
of my
like,
life.
When did this become an episode of Maury?
I had to differentiate you from my club husband, Tony.
The other guy.
Yeah.
Well,
Which I'm sure he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's a great friend. So.
I think we need to wrap it up.
Oh, are we wrapping? Okay,
Yes.
so we're wrapping. Velvet,
I've been
thank you
doing
very
the
much.
wrap-up dance.
Appreciate you. 2 girls, 1 camera. Janie Slash, thank you. And TWOIE WRONG. TWOIE WRONG is so badass wrong. that it's just you're perfect for our
You're
show.
not good at wrapping this up.
Bye.
Anyway, have a good week. We'll see you next Sunday with our guest,
Sam De La Rosa, and also Jessica from Fangoria to talk about the new issue. Stay with us, and please check us out on YouTube. Subscribe.
Tune in, same time, same place.
Yeah, the Corpsepaint Show. Every Sunday we're here live. We're going to give you 90 minutes of live, great, irreverent shit. And also just talk about Satan and talk about movies and talk about metal and talk about Janie Slash's weekly dose of horror.
Yeah, Texas Frightmare Weekend. I am here with Dee Wallace. Don't stare at my boobs all the time.
Sure. I do get comments from occasionally religious fanatics.
I've seen people stop and down.
Who want to wag their finger at me for a ring tank.
The Corpsepaint Show rules!